Well, how much are trade tensions impacting your mental health? Registered psychotherapist Ivana Kolakovic has a few tips on how to cope. And I guess the number one tip is kind of identifying that that's what's bothering you.
Exactly. We want to acknowledge our feelings. If you're struggling with anxiety, if you're struggling with feeling overwhelmed, you want to admit that to yourself. You really want to slow down. Sometimes we feel ashamed that we are struggling. Sometimes we don't want to talk about that. That furthers the isolation, and then we don't get support that we need.
Mm-hmm. And we're experiencing it in our newsroom right now because, you know, it's easy to say, well, you know, put your phone down and ignore the news that's coming out of Washington and the implications around the world. But we here in our newsroom, like, we can't do that. So what do you do, or if your job, say you work in automotive, say you work in farming, say it's impacted directly, what do you do?
There's still a lot of uncertainty. So the environment is volatile. When things are uncertain, we feel a lot of anxiety. That is going to be reality. However, when we think about these things that reminds us of crisis, we actually want to slow down, and we want to be able to understand that it's a marathon and not a race. Mm-hmm. So what you want to do is to be very gentle with yourself, to acknowledge what reality is, that something is happening. You want to stay informed. Of course, you will always want to rely on the news that is accurate and to stay informed so you can plan for the future. However, you don't want to stay stuck in the negative cycle of news.
Doom scrolling.
Exactly. Sometimes we just get stuck.
And at what point what's a sign that you need professional help to talk to a psychotherapist or a counselor?
I think if you start feeling overwhelmed and scared and anxious for an extended period of time, and then you try to cope in certain ways, let's say you reach out to your friends, you talk to your neighbors, you talk to your family, you engage in stress reduction activities, and all of that fails, then you know that you have to reach out to somebody who is a professional who can give you that support.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's just that feeling of, like, not even being able to identify, oh, I'm anxious or I'm feeling upset about this. It's like, I'm just like, you know, I'm mad or I'm upset and I don't know what I'm upset about. That's a sign, right?
For sure. For sure. For sure, if you notice that you are a little bit reactive and you don't know where that is coming from, you want to slow down, admit things maybe to yourself, but also there are people who can help you. We are trained to understand these things and then untangle slowly with you and support you in that way.
Right. You do virtual sessions. You're based in downtown Toronto, but you do virtual sessions. Are these sessions covered by most health benefits?
Most health benefits cover registered psychotherapy, social work, psychologists, so you want to look at your coverage and see what is covered. You can also talk to your HR person and see what is included in your coverage.
I bet before this happened, I bet a lot of people didn't know if they have coverage or not. So thanks for the tips that you've got. We'll get your links up on our website at chch.com/morninglive. Ivana, thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you.